Welcome to the Storyist. Today we are going to be reviewing certain clips of UFO footage. Some may be real, some may not be. Let's jump right in and we can go and break each of these down. And I look forward to hearing your comments on what you believe. Let's carefully watch this same clip in slow motion. You can see that the craft shadow is on the sand and it's actually projected and moving as if that craft was coming closer to the sand. We also see an illuminated, looks like a strobe light on the unit. And we also see the doors opening up. And of course, you can definitely see some sort of staircase or elevated platform is coming out. And we see a being being essentially lowered on that platform to the base. Now, he really doesn't move much from once he exits the craft. And we can see another strobe, or it looks like a gas stream of some sort starting, and we see now that that platform has been elevated into the craft. The doors are now closing. And you naturally can see the craft pivot. And as we see the pivot, once again, I draw your attention to the shadow on the sand. That is the most intricate part of this video because it's very hard to recreate, if at all. It appears as if he just rotated and then there's just a flash of light and he's gone. The focus then retracts. Very interesting clip. I look forward to hearing all of your analyzation. This next video is a supposed military clip. I always find these really interesting. This one has some iffy areas. Let's get into it.
Oh shit! You know what? I was thinking about where you shoot. Oh shit's come back.
Let's watch this clip again in slow motion. And one area of concern of mine, at least, is the fact that we see the craft release a flare. And for those of you not familiar with how military aircraft work, and I'm talking about jet fighters, they will release flares as a countermeasure to any type of missile that has following a heat signature. So it'd be really weird that you would see a craft with greater technology than ours having it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that it is odd that it does resemble the way it launches that flare as one of our fighter jets. One thing for certain, the craft does show a lot of detail. And again, we do see it rotating. It's got a very unusual way it moves, and we can certainly hear that whirring sound as it goes past the soldiers. Does it feel real? It's anything is possible. Again, I'd like to hear your analysis, but in my eyes, this looks completely bogus. And I would say that 9 out of 10 times, the people seeing this, especially our soldiers, you're going to get a little more response than oh shit, especially when it comes that close. I think everybody would relate to that, and to see that go by a mountain that fast with a fighter jet following it, I just find it bogus. Here's a great quality clip from Brazil, even before I've upscaled it. I don't know the date on
Mano,
this one, but let's get in real quick and
que
check this one out.
que é aquilo ali no céu, velho? Fala pra mim. Que é aquilo ali no céu, mano? Vocês estão vendo o que eu tô vendo?
You can see here that this craft has those really ultra bright LEDs around it. And I find this interesting. This is a typical saucer type craft, but as we go through to the next video, you'll see a similar light pattern, not so much as far as a saucer craft, but once again, we see that really beautiful type color spectrum you would see mainly generated by LEDs. It's just so interesting because, like you, I follow many patterns with these craft, and it's interesting to see that regardless of their shape, many of them have these patterns. This video, unfortunately, I don't know the location. It's absolutely beautiful, but if we look in the distance and we look carefully, I'll point it out for you guys because it took me a while to see it myself. You'll see that there looks like there's multiple small craft, and of course these start morphing into shape, and then you'll see some really vibrant colors. And once again, you really have to pay close attention to this and look carefully to really get as much detail out of it as you can. These are really some of my favorite videos because we can hear the traffic in the background. You can definitely hear that the camera person is shuffling a little bit. They're zooming in, and of course we get that off-scale shot. But overall, fantastic footage. Definitely real in my eyes. There is no sound, and that's something that many of you already follow those patterns, and I've seen it as well on a lot of these craft. But the way that these move are really interesting. There's no aircraft that could ever do that, and they're so smooth. And that's one of the things I really love about watching these type of videos, is that the smoothness of these craft in many of these videos, they don't have any vapor trail or any sort of high G type effect on the aircraft. And that's something, once again, seldom discussed, but we see such a vast change in direction. It's absolutely impossible to be moving at a speed, especially at that great distance, that we see that smooth change of direction with simply no sign of G-force at all on any of these movements that these objects portray. It's really fascinating. That wraps up the collection for this week. It's been a while since I've posted. However, I do have a lot more content for us all to review, and I look forward to seeing you. Take care.